And welcome back. Well, selling your home can be exciting, stressful, and confusing. Knowing if you should try direct sale for sale by owner or a realtor is often one of your biggest choices. And it could cost you a lot of money if you make the wrong choice.
So Brian Fendry is a broker and realtor. He's the luxury director for Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Metro Realty Lake and Country. And he says if you want the highest price for your home, it's best to turn to the pros and hire an agent. And Brian, welcome.
Yeah, good to see you again.
Had such a blast speaking to Berkshire Hathaway Home Services a few months ago at one of your retreats because you do luxury.
Yeah.
You've done so well in the market. How do you like being based out of Milwaukee for that?
Well, it's fantastic. I really enjoy real estate. You know, I've been on the show a few times when we talk about real estate, and what's interesting is just watching the market and dealing with people and dealing with some of the confusion that comes in real estate, because as you mentioned, a lot of people say, oh, I'm going to just sell my home on my own. I'm going to do it for sale by owner. And we find that there might be 1 or 2% of the people that actually do it. More often than not, I have a very interesting, a client of mine, I helped him buy homes, and I've helped him a great deal. He decided to sell his house this summer because he moved up to another home. We found him, and he said, you know what, everything is going so fast, and I'm a sales manager, I'm going to just sell it myself.
Right.
They held an open house, and he said, Brian, we have 20 people here, there's a bunch of people interested, they're writing their offers, I've got this handled.
Yeah.
2 days later, I get a call from him, I've got 4 offers, what do I do? And I smiled, and I said, well, you know, I'd love to help you out, but the thing is you didn't hire me. Now, if you want me to help you, we have to actually physically list the house, and I will get involved, and I can consult with you.
So it's really something he almost had to take some back steps then and go backward
He did.
to have you come in. Why does it have to, why couldn't you come in at that part?
Well, I could. I mean,
Okay.
the point is I could, but it was more I was prodding and teasing him because he's a friend and he's a sales manager. But, you know, again, sales is one thing, and we talked about that in your keynote when you spoke in Palm Springs. It's understanding the whole conversation.
Yes.
And again, when you get multiple contracts, what do you do?
Right.
And
no, you're absolutely right, because that can be really overwhelming for anyone with a professional background. So what is like that advantage, whether you're a buyer or a seller, hiring an agent like you, Brian?
Right.
The key is, again, when those contracts actually come in, when the negotiation actually happens, we know how to handle that. So in a case like that, I can talk to them about, well, you can do multiple counteroffers, you can choose one over the other. We have to look at all the contract and what's in it. And sometimes people say, well, why don't I just hire an attorney? That's great, that's fine, but you still have to make that choice. And attorneys are pragmatic. They can cover you to make sure you're not in a lawsuit, or if you are, that you'll come out ahead, but they don't deal in sales. They may not know necessarily. So I always say, yes, actually in Chicago you have to have an attorney. But for us, it's not required in Wisconsin. I always say, sure, get an attorney, but let me handle the sales end of things for you.
So what do you do? What does a real estate agent do to get the best deal? And clearly that's what you're saying, is that to get the best deal, you really need that real estate agent on your side.
Well, you need to know when to say yes and when to say no. Not to change subjects right away, but we had a situation where we had a real lowball offer on another property. So it was just one offer, but it was incredibly low, and the sellers were angry and said, let's just reject it. And I said, absolutely not. That's ridiculous. You have a buyer. Maybe they're just prodding. Maybe they're just seeing what they can get.
Right.
So after some discussions, we went back with an almost full price offer. We got that accepted. Then the next stages happen where now the contract rolls and you have inspections. And again, they came back with a laundry list of issues, and we said, that's okay. We'll fix the issues. What they were really trying to do is drive that price back down to the accept. So I'm a consultant. I tell them, look, I'm here to get the emotion out of this, and let's get you an accepted and closed deal.
That's so important, because don't you feel, I'm sure you see that all the time, when you're talking homes, this is where someone spends their time with their family. Maybe they raise their children there. Maybe they don't want to leave it to go to a smaller home or, you know, a facility or something like that. So oftentimes, or it's just, you know, you're moving and you have these connections. So that emotion in selling a home is truly probably a problem at times.
Absolutely. And sometimes you get, oh, this is the biggest offer. Look, it's actually over asking price. And I say, well, they don't have proof of financing. And we later find out they just threw it out there hoping they'd knock everybody else out. And then they were going to work on everything afterward. So again, knowing where to look in the contract so you don't get someone into a contract that can't be fulfilled.
And it's so nice to take that detachment from you to go do that. And I have to say, what I've really loved learning about your individual firm, as well as Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, is that you've got a beautiful ad campaign called Moving. and it's about staying with people through every home of their lives, from when it's just a single person to a couple to a family to children going to college, downsizing again. It really, you're there with them every step of the way, Brian.
It is. It's all about the relationships because, again, when you connect with someone on something as important as a home, and occasionally, I think you mentioned earlier, sometimes they are troubled, they can't afford the home. I have one that'll be coming on the market where we got together and said, look, the kids are gone, you don't need this big house, and they want to travel. They said, we can afford it, but we're thinking if we sell the house, now we'll have more money free to travel. So we always talk about, well, what's best for the family and how to make those moves. And as you said, so every stage, even to the point where I helped a friend sell their father's condo because he moved into retirement housing, and they wanted to sell the house for the best price, and so they came to me. Here's after all these years of in the home. So
I really like your approach.
It's wonderful. And I know you do a free marketing analysis for those who are looking to sell their home, but Brian's also looking for realtors who want to be a part of the global real estate company Berkshire Hathaway. So if you want a real estate career or a change of companies, they offer the opportunity to be part of a company that can help you build a scalable, profitable business. And it's truly a global opportunity. All you got to do is call Brian. You can tell how much he loves what he does, and he wants you to love what you do. So call him at 414-467-8626, or you can email him confidentially if you're looking to sell or buy at brianfendry@gmail.com. I think it's great what you do, and truly, I love it when people love what they do. So good to see you again, Brian.
Thanks. Likewise.
Absolutely.
My pleasure.